What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to Beast Wars. This is just a web series where we're talking about the production of Transformers Rise of the Beasts. This is episode number 5. And before I begin this episode, I just want to follow up on what I talked about in the previous episode, and that was about my speculation of Terracons being triple changers. And I completely believe that they're going to be triple changers. The main reason why I believe that is because, well, they're the main antagonist element, and because of that, they need to be extraordinary. More extraordinary than Decepticons, like standard Decepticons. So I've narrowed it down to 3 options that they could be. So like I said before in the previous video, they could be triple changers. Robot mode, vehicle alt mode, and beast mode. Okay, so triple changers. They could be another thing, which is beasts with vehicle modes, not robot modes. So they got the car mode, like the Skyline GTR or the Nissan Skyline, but then the Nightbird's other mode is not that of a ninja robot, but that of a beast. So really 2 modes, beast and vehicle. That sounds not as likely, but it's still an option. The other option is that it's going to be a combiner. Now, I was reading the comments in the previous episode, and someone mentioned that what if the combiner it doesn't combine into a robot, like a big robot, but a big beast. Actually, I really like that idea. I really love that idea of that they combine into a beast, like into a big bad beast. That would be pretty cool. Now, when you look back at, let's say, Dark of the Moon, let's look at the Dreads. In a way, the Dreads are kind of like, they're kind of like beasts. They don't really look like robots, like humanoid robots, but some would argue that, well, all the Decepticons don't look like humanoid robots. But let's look at Hatchet particularly. Hatchet was the one that was running on all 4s like a Decepticon hellhound, you know what I'm saying? He went from SUV to a beast, in, you know, if you will, right? So we're no stranger to that should they decide to do something like that. As for a combiner that combines into a giant beast, in a way, when you really look back at the big bad combiners from the previous sequels, Devastator, he was kind of like a gorilla. He was on all 4s, but then, you know, we could argue that, well, he's not a beast per se, because he's got construction vehicle truck parts all over him. So I'll give it that. But then there's Infernicus, which looked like he came straight out of hell because like he just looks like a monster. In some ways, he's kind of like a beast. He's just a combiner that combines into a big beast. So, like I said before, we're no stranger to this concept, and I think that's where some of the inspiration would have come from should they decide to go for these options. But in any case, make no mistake about it, the Terracons are going to be a very, very extraordinary antagonist elements, so they're not just going to be robot and alt mode. I'm calling it right now. Something special. There's something special about these Terracons. We just don't know what it is yet. I'm going to go with triple changer, but it can also be a combined beast. All right, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Moving on, let's talk about the filming on the streets of Montreal, downtown Montreal to be specific, and these were posted all over. There's a Montreal car spotting Facebook page where people post photos of cars that they see, unique cars, supercars, sports cars, muscle cars, all kinds of cars that they find are very, very special. They post it on that, and it's basically a page to share photos, right? And what we've gotten is a bunch of users on that Facebook page just sharing a bunch of images of the filming of Transformers Rise of the Beasts in downtown. Let's see what we got here. So I'm just going to go through these really, really quickly. Basically, it's a bunch of cars from the 90s and 80s era, and what this really tells me is that they really are doing a great job in transforming the streets of Montreal, not just in New York City, but transforming it into that era. As you can see right here, there's a lot of, these are a lot of really old cars. You know what I'm saying? I see like, is that an Oldsmobile? Do they even make that anymore? And then there's this, apparently this scene is being filmed in the evening by this, it looks like like a museum. I don't know what kind of building that is, but anyone from Montreal will obviously know what kind of building that is. I just don't know what it is. Now, in these photos is or rather in this like traffic or these cars, hidden is a robot in disguise, and that would be Mirage. You know what? There's no better Autobot to be in disguise than Mirage. It's called Mirage. Anyways, he's being covered, and you'll notice that two of those vehicles are being covered. One of them has a thing sticking out of its back. Okay, both of them are Mirage, which is Porsche 911. But one of them has a thing sticking out of its back. We're gonna see what that is, and I want to say thank you to Protoman on Twitter, who's a Transformers fan in Montreal right now, checking out the filming, because he's been posting a lot of photos on Twitter. And what we have right here, check this out. This is Jazz. I mean, why did I say Jazz? Of course, well, obviously I said Jazz because Porsche 911, but it's actually Mirage. Sorry for the confusion. I'm gonna like make that mistake again and again and again. It's Jazz, and Jazz is. There's three versions of Jazz. There's the hero car for the close-ups and for the camera to capture any shots with the actors going into the vehicle. And then there's the stunt vehicle, which is the one where it's captured in wide shots. You don't really see who's inside, and then they're driving around doing stunts. And then there's this version of the I'm not sure what the technical name for this vehicle is, but I guess it's the driver car, okay? Where there's actually a driver driving the stunt vehicle, and this is to capture both the performance of the actor and also capture some stunt work done by this vehicle, and of course that stunt work will be done by the stunt driver. So what this tells me here, and this is actually pretty significant to the story, is that one of the human characters is going to be driving Mirage. But not only that, he's going to be driving him, or rather Mirage is going to be driving that actor, that human character, around in a high-speed chase. Okay, why else would you need this driver? Why else would you need a stunt driver driving the Mirage if it's not going to be a high-speed chase? They have to capture some reaction shots, some close-ups, and the performance of, let's say it's Noah, Anthony Ramos' character. They got to capture Noah's performance during an intense chase, so it looks like Mirage is going to be involved in a city chase sequence. That's going to be really, really exciting. The big question is, does Noah know that it's a robots in disguise? Does he have a friendship already with Mirage? Or is this a scene where he's being introduced to the Autobot for the very first time, and he's going like, what the hell is going on? Just like how is it Laura Haddock's character in Transformers Last Night, where Hot Rod was driving her around and she had no idea what's going on? Are we going to have a recreation of that situation? That's highly possible, because you know it's part of the fun of these Transformers films, and that is to have the human characters be surprised that the car is suddenly driving itself. And not only that, it's involved in a high-speed chase. All right, so that's pretty cool. We've seen that for the first time when Sam and oh boy, Megan. I know it's Megan, but what was her character's name? I cannot believe I forgot her character's name. Michaela. Sam and Michaela were in Bumblebee, and then they were being chased down by barricades. So it's kind of like a version of that, okay? Let's see here. Hey, check this out. Protoman also posted a photo of this blue, or rather an aqua blue, light blue Volkswagen Bug. Now, I've been reading the tweets and comments about this, and a lot of people are saying, it's Glyph. I don't know what a Glyph is. I really don't. And then I decided to look it up. So it turns out that Glyph is a character from Transformers Animated that is a blue Volkswagen Bug, okay? And so they're saying that this got to be Glyph, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say, no, it's not Glyph, because I absolutely do not believe that Stephen Cable Jr., the writers, are drawing any inspiration from Transformers Animated. I believe they're drawing inspiration from Transformers G1, Beast Wars, some of the comics, and Robots in Disguise, the 2000 Transformers series, Robots in Disguise, otherwise known as Car Robots, in Japan. That's where they're drawing inspiration from. I don't believe that they're drawing any inspiration from anything beyond that, including Transformers Animated, so I do not believe that is Glyph. Okay? Could it be somebody else? Totally. Absolutely. But I just don't know. Could it be Mirage's other form? Because after all, we have seen Autobots and Decepticons just scan forms and scan different forms. Bumblebee, for example, he scanned an old form, old Camaro, and then scanned a new Camaro. It's not far-fetched. It can totally happen, totally plausible. And so there you have it. But it's a very, very interesting, like, this is a vehicle that stands out. That's why, this photo exists. This photo exists because whoever took the photo really believes that, hey, this could be something significant. Could be something significant or nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to go with, it's either nothing or it's Mirage's, one of Mirage's other modes, okay? That could happen because when you look at the color, it's kind of like, it's like an aqua blue, light blue, but then Mirage is also a silver and blue, so, you can kind of see the connection there with the colors. So there you have it. Oh, check this out. Here is a close-up of Mirage's hood. There you can see the Autobot symbol. It's very, very evident, very, very clear that it's right there, and he's an Autobot. So there you have it. Here's another interesting thing. Here's another. This is post tweeted by Protoman, and they are apparently Mirage is doing a practice run. The stunt driver rather is doing a practice run with the drifting. Okay, with a drifting scene, he's just doing it again and again and again. You can see that video on Twitter. And I don't believe that this is where the chase actually takes place. They're just using an empty street to perform that action. And then it's going to be used later on in an actual chase scene. Because as you can see right here, there's no cars. There's no cars here at all. So they're just going to go through the motions. And then eventually they're going to do it for real in the city streets where it's going to be populated by more traffic. Okay, what else do we got to talk about? Hey, check this out. Here's a photo of a script. Okay, I'm not even going to bother to try to read this script because I don't want to get spoiled. I mean, watching the movie being made is one thing. Reading the script, on the other hand, is a completely another level. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to go there because now we're getting to very, very specific things that are going to be said and seen, or rather said, and that can relate to the plot that are in the movie. I don't need to see that. It's not that important to me, okay? Let's finally talk about... Optimus Prime Productions on Instagram has reposted some photos of, I guess... Those two covered vehicles are Mirage, okay? Because we've only seen two Autobots, one Autobot so far, and there's two of them. And there's two of this covered car, so looks like it's Mirage. I'm pretty 100% positive it's Mirage because if you can look at the car shape, there it is. And finally, now this is the most interesting thing. A Toyota Celica Supra 1984. Now this is a vehicle that really stands out, but just like I said with the light blue Volkswagen Bug, it could be just a vehicle. It could be just a car that's just there. After all, they were doing a casting call for owners of vehicles that are from the 90s. So this could be one of those cars. I think it's cool that somebody brought out a 1984 Supra because it really reflects the era. But on top of that, it's a vehicle that could represent an Autobot. Most likely not. I'm gonna lean towards that as not because it's not getting the same treatment as Mirage. It's not covered up. There's not two of them, so therefore it's not doing stunts, driving stunts with Mirage, and it looks like there's only one of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that that's not something we should be too concerned about. So the only things that are really exciting about this, what we've seen so far, is that they've transformed all of Montreal, or rather that section of Montreal, for a potential chase sequence that involves one of the human characters inside of Mirage. All right, so we have we have 1% of the plot right now. So we can start putting things together, all right? Is this the beginning of the movie? Is the middle of the movie? Or is this like somewhere near the end? We will find out later on, but this is a scene that we have solidified that will be a chase sequence involving a human, okay? Who is chasing him? We have yet to see that vehicle. If it's completely a CG thing, then we won't see who it is at all. Maybe they're just going to have tennis balls. If you see a tennis ball on a pole, then that means that it is in its robot mode. We will soon find out once we get more set photos, okay? And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this episode. Hey, by the way, go to my Twitter right now. Once you're done the video, rather. Once you're done watching the video, go to my Twitter. It's at Ragin Nation. And then I've put up a poll. It's going to be up for just less than 3 days. It's a poll of what you guys want to see in like as a Transformers film. Go answer that because I just want to know people's opinions about what they actually want to see. Go on that poll. Go vote. Leave a comment if you want. But anyways, I just want to see. I want to post the results in a couple of days on my next video, and we'll just see how people feel, how people really feel about what's going on here. Okay. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.